So last time we were talking about trust in Hashem. Do you remember this? No. The right answer is yes. Okay, we were talking about trust in Hashem. And the context were the spies. We spoke about the reason why Hashem makes us do things which focus ourselves on our own efforts is in order to give us the satisfaction of achievement, the test of trusting Him or not, and to turn us into givers. Remember this? Okay. So now, after all of this is reviewed, what I want to do today is to apply it to 3 specific life situations. Okay, so here are the 3 situations I want to give you the parameters of trusting Hashem. Physical illness, financial distress, and social distress coming from overload or underload. Okay, so those are the 3. There are many more than those, but these are 3 very central ones. So if you trust Hashem, remember the paradigm is Hashem is the source, outcomes belong to Hashem, but the middle, which is effort, is who you become. So in terms of relating to your own body, so the first thing is, of course, Hashem is the source of the intricacy and beauty of your own body. So the human body, like you can go on and on and on about it, like its perfection and its intricacy. Suffice to say just one thing, you have tiny little hairs inside your nostrils to warm up your air. Do you realize this? Okay, so what would happen if they weren't there? What would happen if you would breathe in unwarmed, unfiltered air?
You focus on breathing all the time.
Exactly, you wouldn't be able to, you would breathe consciously, which would be terrible. Okay, so the body is of Hashem. So if somebody gives you a precious and intricate gift, what's the right way to relate to it? Gratefulness, and what else?
Using the right numbers.
Yeah, and care. Taking care of it right, using it well. So therefore, from a Judaic perspective, you should see your body as a precious gift. This is why there's the bathroom bracha, which you're familiar with. So the whole idea of going to the bathroom, which people disassociate with, it should be seen as another reflection of the body's perfection. You should take care of your body. Do we take good care of our bodies? What would you say? How many of you would say, yes, we take very good care of our bodies? How many of you would say so-so? And how many of you would say even worse? Okay. Okay, so the way Hashem did it, and this is also one of life's challenges, what feels good isn't necessarily good. Okay? So, but we are very good at doing what our bodies enjoy. Okay, but having the self-discipline and gratitude to take good care of our bodies is more demanding. So I want to make a very brief, I'm going to keep this short, don't ask me lots of questions on this, a very brief presentation of what Rambam says about maintaining physical health. So he divides it into 3 segments, into food, sleeping, and exercise. So with food, his basic rule is don't eat foods that are difficult to digest or indigestible, because it stresses your body. So the food, how do you know what's digestible and what's not? Basically, the longer it takes to biodegrade, the less digestible it is. So what are some indigestible foods? Red meat is hard to digest. Nuts are hard to digest. Okay, Twinkies are impossible to digest. Okay, clear? So therefore he says to limit, he doesn't say to eliminate because the Torah doesn't forbid it, but to limit the amount of nuts and meat that you'll eat. Okay, he also says to eat...
It's nuts and meat, so like fats, you're saying?
No, just because they don't digest quickly. You could have nuts for 6 months, they're still more or less good. Okay, so it stresses your system to make it degrade. Okay, when you're eating a meal, if you could have it on your own terms, serve the lighter food first and then move from there to the heavier food. Okay, try not to drink while you eat, because the drinking dilutes the stomach acids. In Rambam's day, the only drinks they had were wine or water. They didn't have any other drinks. So not coffee, not tea, nothing. So it's all about wine and water. So drink what you need to drink to eat, but if you're going to have like a nice cup of something, save it for the end. If it's just like for pleasure drinking, if you understand what I mean, not for pushing the food down. Okay, next. So that's next thing. So that's what you avoid. Okay? Since eating stresses your body anyway through digestion, don't exercise immediately after eating because your body is busy digesting. exercise before eating to warm your body up into an active mode. Okay? Don't take a very hot shower or very cold shower immediately after eating, because your body has to struggle to maintain its own temperature. Okay? And here's the one that I was avoiding. Don't overeat. Don't overeat. Don't overeat. Don't overeat. He says it in a million different ways. Okay, so how much is overeating? Overeating is when you're fully satiated when you leave the table. So you should leave the table full, but not that they need a crane to take you away. Okay, and don't eat when you're not hungry. Don't drink when you're not thirsty. So he maintains that eating moderately is far more important for your health than what you eat. In other words, eating the wrong foods in moderation is better than eating healthful foods immoderately. Okay? So that's a thumbnail of what he says about food, which is like he goes on 200 pages, so this is really not in a very exhaustive study. Sleep. Okay, so Hashem designed the need to sleep partially to refresh the soul. The soul goes up above to Hashem and is comforted by Him, which is why we wake up in the morning in a more optimistic state. Sleep is addictive. Therefore, you could accustom your body to need more sleep than you actually need, which is a bad idea because life is so short, you don't want to spend most of it with your eyes closed in bed. So, well, some people, okay, whatever. So he said a healthy person, not a sick person, a healthy person needs 8 hours of sleep maximum and could train themselves to need as little as 6. Okay, clear?
I don't feel like I can function if I get less than 8.
Then don't. Then 8, you may need 8.
I need more than 9.
So he would maintain a healthy person could probably learn to get it down to 8. Okay, sleeping less than 6 hours, even though it's possible, is not something he recommends. There are people who could do it with less than that, but he doesn't recommend it. Ideally, which we can't do in today's world anymore, the best time to sleep is when nature makes it dark. In other words, there's a reason why it gets dark. It's saying nighty-night, okay? But now that we have electricity, so we can keep the lights on whenever we want, it's not practical to try to do this because so much happens at night. Okay, clear? If you can manage your life so that you get all of your sleep at once, like in one shot at night, 8 hours, that's much better than sleeping, let's say, 6 hours at night and having a 2-hour nap. Okay, clear? The sleep that you get at the beginning of the night is deeper than the sleep at the end of the night, which again doesn't fit contemporary lifestyle. Next, exercise. So he is a strong believer in use it or lose it. Okay? So you absolutely have to use your body. Now picturing Rambam in the gym is an impossible image. So using your body means, in the basic sense, you don't have to ride every place you could walk. You don't have to always sit, you could stand. So, like going into the rather farcical 21st century thing of like the woman who has, has a subscription to the gym, but hires someone to do her floors. Like, you don't have to go there. You could just do more. Okay, clear? Okay, that basically is what he says about taking care of your body. The aesthetic of your body. So the human body is beautiful. You're supposed to take care of its aesthetic. So it means you should keep clean. You should, which in his day was like a hugely novel idea. They used to think that sweat was healthy, that it protected you from illnesses. So you should wash your body every so often, like, once or twice a year. Not really, okay. And wear clothes that give honor to your body. So you say things that are like moderate, unstained, appropriate. Okay, clear? It's a way of honoring the gift Hashem gave you. However, you have to simultaneously recognize it's a gift, you take care of it. You have no control over outcomes. Remember, this is like with all of the areas of effort. So a person could do everything right. They could eat healthfully. They could do exercise. They could do it right. That doesn't guarantee them a long life. Okay? So realize outcomes belong to Hashem, but efforts belong to us. Okay? So when a person is ill, they should recognize that this is from Hashem. So there are 3 different levels of going about healing. So I'm going to take you from the lowest level up. Here's the lowest level. Wow, something is wrong with me. This has nothing to do with me as a person. Why, this just happened. It just sort of happened to happen. And in today's world, we even call people victims of illness. So there's somebody called illness who goes around randomly making victims. Since it has nothing to do with me, I won't think too much about it. I'll go to the doctor. If the illness is severe, either he'll be able to treat it and I'll get better, or he won't and I'll die. It all depends on him. So therefore, I have to relate to the doctor the way other people relate to who? God, okay? Are there people who deify doctors?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. So that's the lowest possible level. Okay. The second level, which is a level we could aspire to, the third level is out of our range, is you think, gosh, this happened to me, so that means since it happened to me and not to somebody else, who has to relate to it? I do. So you have to search yourself, what's the best response spiritually I could make to this illness? Is being more sensitized to other people's suffering part of this picture? Maybe I'm not that sensitive. Is prayer part of the picture? Is gratitude for what I have part of the picture? So you have to search yourself. When you go to the doctor, you know that outcomes belong to God, but efforts belong to us. So therefore, going to the doctor is just like making an effort to have things go right. So nothing depends on the doctor. Everything depends on God's will, but you have to make efforts, and you're going to the doctor is alleging yourself with making efforts, which shows that you care about the outcome. So if you're going to the doctor, then go to a good doctor. Just don't go to any old doctor because you have to say, I went to the doctor. Making efforts means making intelligent efforts. If you're going to a doctor, go to a good doctor. Okay, clear? The highest level of all is when a person sees the actual physical illness as a symptom of God's telling him you have to change. So his relationship is primarily to the self-change and only secondarily to the illness. He'll go to the doctor, but he doesn't see this as a serious part of the outcome. So he's not emotionally involved in it. Okay, clear? Okay, so that's the body. Now let's go on to finance.